everybody, I'm Karen.
And I'm Mae.
And this week we are going to talk about frustration.
Okay, we're going to let it rip.
Frustration. So please don't go away. I will tell you mine and hopefully you will share your frustrations.
Speak soon.
So,
you're frustrated, Karen.
Yes, I'm very frustrated.
Why?
Since I've gone into menopause, I exercise and very careful with my diet. But since I've gone into menopause, no amount of exercise seemed to work for me. My weight gain is all around my muffin top and my butt. I mean, I'm doing the same stuff that I used to do in my 40s and my 30s, and I'm feeling so demotivated because it's like, you keep doing and I'm good at it. I keep persevering. Then I heard this episode, and I just want to share with everybody. I heard this episode from Robbins. Love her. I give her credit for this, for teaching us this. Frustration is actually a sign that it's time to move on. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, it does.
It's time to move on. That means whatever you're doing at the current moment is just not working out for you, and it's time to evaluate what works and what doesn't work. She taught us is about the 3 P's.
Okay.
So the 3 P's is project. So project means take that situation and change the mindset. Look at it as, let me give you an example. Let's say, so I want to lose weight and I feel that I'm stuck in a rut because it's not shifting very much. The mindset has to change that, okay, I'm 55, which means my body is changing. I need to look at what works for my body, whether it's maybe I have to change the way I exercise or maybe the way I eat.
It's like being more compassionate to your actual situation.
And instead of
not measuring yourself based on the 30-year-old or 40-year-old.
I'm going to have to accept that, my body's changed, which means it's not going to look like a 20-year-old, but I'm going to have to adjust myself.
Yeah.
So that comes to a kind of like a realization that, okay, I'm okay with that change, but it will take some time as well, that kind of thing. So that's the project bit. Then the process is you analyze all the things that you need changing. So you maybe take time for 1 week and look at, what exercise do you normally do? For me, I will do a 3-kilometer run followed by 20-30 minutes of Pilates or whatever it is, and I kind of dissect and say, okay, what's working, what's not, or maybe it's my diet. I realize I'm not digesting rice very well.
Okay.
Because for some reason I eat a mixture of brown and white rice. Every time I have rice, I feel very bloated. By the evenings, I'm like a gas tank. It's very uncomfortable. I love watermelon. I love water, especially on hot days in Penang. I realize I cannot have too much of it. Those little things that never bothered us before start to bother us now. So those are things I said, okay, maybe that's the thing. And so for me, I started to shift that. The last thing is it resonates more on people. People meaning it's more in a work situation. I need to maybe change my mindset and change how I exercise, because sometimes, when someone who's like me, who's been exercising so much, then the body is so used to that same exercise. So that's why I'm not shifting weight. So I need to
challenge your body, your new body again.
Yeah. So after listening to that, I actually put into action the beginning of January, and I said, okay, I'm going to analyze all my processes. And this is where it's been 2 weeks now, and I'm looking at, okay, I realized that, there's certain foods that I cannot eat, or I can eat only at a certain time. So like during the day, I can have all the salads I want, but evenings I have to avoid the salads. But it's very strange.
It's very, very strange. You started this episode saying you're frustrated, but now you know your answers. Are you still frustrated?
It gives me a plan, and I'm able to accept My body is changing, and I have a action plan to try to work on. We are so hard on ourselves. We keep thinking, I want to lose this weight, da da da. It's about first understanding your body and saying, okay, this can happen. And what about you in your business? Do you have
Yeah, I get frustrated a lot. And I sigh. I do this thing. It'll be so obvious when I'm frustrated because you breathe through the day and then I'll suddenly be like, and it just goes on. But these frustrations, it always leads me to wanting to give up.
Yeah.
So when I notice that something makes me uncomfortable or unhappy, I want to give it up. But at the same time, I also need it because I need the money. So it becomes even more frustrating because then I feel stuck.
Right.
So from what you just said, it just means that I need to change something. Maybe I need to speak
about your process.
Speak to the client and explain to them my limitations or what am I stuck on. That's one way I could do it. Or I could tone down the amount of work, or I could ask questions and get
clarity.
Get clarity, because sometimes you're frustrated because you don't know what to do and you don't know what the other person is thinking, especially when it comes to my working relationships. So it's always best to just ask.
We all do that because we assume something from that person, and for all you know, they don't even think about it, but it's in our head and go, oh my god, maybe he thinks I'm doing this, or and then when you actually ask, oh, by the way, actually,
and you feel this really nice sense of relief and you're smiling now, you're walking, oh, okay, everything's okay. I do face frustrations, and I think I had a frustration with my weight gain. So if you watched our previous episodes, you know that this year I'm trying to lose weight, and it was a really big frustration for me because it wouldn't work, but then also I want to see results within 2 days.
All this Gen Z wanting everything immediate. So tell us about your process.
It first starts with me having to give up Grab food, and actually that became frustrating because I'd be in and out of meetings all day, and then I wouldn't have time to prepare anything, and then I'm already so hungry, right? And then now I have to do cook time as well. So that was actually really, really frustrating, and I actually caved in twice. Once was sweet and sour chicken from down the road, and another one was fried noodles. But after I did that, I felt a lot of guilt, so I had to change the process. So now I know my schedule is such. So when I went grocery shopping, I bought things that are quicker and easier to make. So I've actually found really nice bakeries. I've noticed that I like Marks and Spencer's bread, and they have the soft bagels that you can just put smoked salmon inside with some leafy greens, and you're good to go. And that also is a good source of a balanced diet for my instead of eating rice all the time. So I've started to change the process to fit the needs of my work schedule. So I have no excuse. Now the issue is that I'm eating cold food, and I got irritated at that. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't always just eat a sandwich. And then I realized you can toast things in the oven, and you can make really nice toasties and stuff. So now I have this, and I bought a blender so I can make my own carrot soups and all this type of things. So now it's actually exciting because I feel the changes. I don't feel so bloated anymore. So I'm glad that I worked through the frustration instead of giving up.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds really mean, but my partner was not doing the diet at all. And of course, my son, he just eats. I'm not going to ask him to go on a diet. But I would literally tell my partner, oh, if you're going to order pizza and things like that, I am not strong enough yet. So please, no willpower yet. So please just don't do it around me. If you want to go and have these meals, go with your friends.
Right.
Because I didn't want to become frustrated with him.
Right.
If not, I would be oh, you're unsupportive, and then I start blaming.
It's not fair. Also.
Yeah, it's not fair. Also, but at the same time, go eat with your friends. So yeah, I think it's also managing and just being honest about what I need at this point of time, knowing my limitations. So that I don't get frustrated, because that burden, it's very irritating, right? When you feel frustrated, it's very
because if you keep wallowing and not improving the process, as in this case, then you're very likely to give up. And that's the scary bit. Then you eventually will not achieve your goal.
And then at the end of the year, you're going to be frustrated that you didn't just do it.
Weight gain, weight loss is major, especially for all generations and women. Analyze your body, because your body may react to certain food better than others. So observe, my daughter, she cannot digest at all gluten. He gets very bloated. By switching certain yogurt and milk, she's able to control her health. I used to be able to eat tons of carbs and not put on weight. Now I have to change that around, and no more watermelon. Is just changing it up and realizing that body change, situations and work changes. Like if a business that you're doing is not making money or it's become a flat line, you have to look at the process. Maybe what are you doing or not doing to the business? Is there maybe an upgrading of software? Is that maybe the person you hired to do certain things didn't perform and that you need to shift that around? The crucial bit is the people, especially in the work situation. A lot of times it's the leader or myself as to, have I changed? Maybe my motivation is not there anymore. Maybe because I have been distracted and that's why the business went downhill. All this is part and parcel of how we deal with the frustration. Instead of wallowing and giving up.
I agree. And I think that that's really, really good advice, to not be beaten by yourself.
How are you doing? Do you feel some changes?
I switched up the process unintentionally because I didn't know this whole thing actually existed. But I feel a bit more motivated now because I found a way to allow myself to stick to my goal, and I was able to fix the problem without throwing the towel in. And when it comes to my work, I'm not very confrontational. I don't know how to just say oh no, I don't like this, or no, I don't agree with you. I find it very difficult to do this. This year I have whether it's typing out an email or just saying, hi, can I get on a call with you? There's something that's on my mind. I just want to say it. I realize that we don't have anything to lose. But if I were to keep that inside of me and not communicate that frustration, it is depleting within me. One day I might just act very emotionally and just throw it all away if I don't address things as and when they come.
True. And the worst thing is when you're frustrated, right? It's always the people we care about that gets the brunt of it. Don't you agree? If you agree with me, please let us know. It's our closest people we love very much who are always getting the backlash when they're very frustrated. It's not very fair. Remember, we talked about the 3 Ps. Look at it as a project. Think of the process and think of the people. And when with people, I say always look at yourself first before you look at someone else. Is there something you can change now to alleviate that frustration? Is there something that you can change in terms of the process so that you can start achieving the goal that you want? I hope this has been very helpful for everybody. Please subscribe and comment below and let us know what you think.
Disclaimer, all of this is just our opinions. It's for entertainment purposes only, and we hope that it was interesting.
See you next week. Bye.